In this video, I want to show how I'm using ZBrush to make a duplicate of a tool, subtool, and then work on it, and then have them come back together to form one model. It has some advantages, it has some disadvantages, but I did want to show you some of this workflow. So, here I've got a mesh. If we look at it, it's about 136,000 points. So it's relatively fine, but it's not too bad. It sculpts fairly well. It also holds mask fairly well, and that's part of what I'm going to be using today. So the first thing I want to do is change the size of one of these so that I can sculpt the outer one so that it intersects with it. I want to make some bands of raised areas on this. So the first thing I want to do is get it where I can kind of see what's going to happen with it when I change its size. Also, let's see, make sure that both are on. You can try the transparency on it to see what happens, but sometimes it actually interferes with it. So I'll give it a go to see what's happening. Sometimes it might work better. Yeah, I think it's going to work better with ghosting on. So I'm going to come down to my deformation rollout, and then I'm just going to go down to my inflate, and I'm going to make sure I've got the lower one here, and I'm just going to pull it in maybe 1 or 2. So let's see, it's -3, -1, -2. Let's try that and see how it does. I can always undo and change this if it's not what I want. So and I'm going to turn off my transparency, make sure I'm back up here on 1. Let's see, that might have been a little too slight of a difference. We'll see. So I want to change my brush to a layer brush, and sometimes it works well to have the mask alpha on, and sometimes it doesn't. I've been finding lately that I'm not a big fan of it, and I control everything through the draw size and through the focal shift. Run the focal shift out a little bit, and then make sure I've got this turned to Z sub so that it pushes the outer one in, and there you can kind of see what it's doing. You see how it's pushing that in. That actually looks pretty good. I'm going to say that's okay. What I'm not liking is this this kind of fall off out here, so that might be a bit harsh, so I may want to change my focal shift and bring that back out a little bit. Bring out something that where push that in, and it's a little bit softer. That too is looking a little bit harsh. So I might end up using masking for this. And masking I like anyway, because here if you have to then try to bring this all together, you might end up with some little ridges and things like that aren't quite as nice. So I think I'm just going to use some masking on this. And a great here's a great place to use the mask curve brush. So I could turn this thing around like this and say, whoop, not that. Let's draw one through there and mask like that. See, I don't like that. Let's see. Make sure I've got that end covered like that. That's not bad. And don't worry about these jaggies. We'll take care of. I'll show you some tricks to take care of those. And then here from the side, I'm going to come in, and you can tap Alt twice to make a sharp change in it. Let's see, that's looking pretty good through there. Let's come in, and then hold down Alt this way, and that'll take it out, and that'll leave me a kind of like a nice band across there. Let's do some from a different angle up here. A bit of a zigzag, and here I'm just going to tap Alt once and let it curve some. It may have been a bit much. No, that looks pretty good. Let's come over here, do just one more maybe. Hold on, let that go out. Actually, let's do one more. Let's do it from the other side, so we've got some control over it. Nope, not the way I wanted to go. Let's see, let's go from below. All right, yeah, and so to deal with the jaggies, what I'm going to do is, because if we tried to work with this as is, in fact, also I want to invert this, if we tried to say deflate this part. No, wait, actually I think I want to preserve these out, and I want to push these in. So if I want to say deflate those down in, see, I'm going to get some of that hard edge. But if I hold down Control and just click on the mesh a few times, that'll smooth it, and then hold down Control and Alt and click on it a few times, it'll sharpen it, and just go back and forth a little bit till it finds some relatively smooth. There we go. That's looking pretty good. Probably don't want to do any more than that. Yep. All right. We'll try that. And so now I can just deflate a little bit. Yeah, until it kind of pulls in. And so that's giving me a much better result with that. Also, the great thing about using this method is that I can use two different materials and colors with this. So with this outer one selected, I'm going to color fill it. Oh, first of all, I want to turn on, in fact, let's just go back to a standard brush. Turn on mRGB, do a color fill object. And let's switch to my subtool. Hold down. Let's see. Hold down Alt. Alt. Switch to it. Color fill object. So now what I can do is let's come back to this guy. Let's unmask it. And this one, let's make it a kind of a red color here. And basic material fill object, and then the other one down here I'm going to, let's go back to white, make it a kind of a barber pole, and then here I want to change my material to say a toy plastic, and color fill object. Yeah, so make that. So see here I can get this kind of shiny plastic and then more of a matte kind of rubberized piece with it. Let me check my time, see how I'm doing here. Yeah, about 12 seconds left. So let me drop out of this, and I'll pick this up in the next video.